Hello, and welcome to Commissioner in a Car. Today is Monday. It is June 27th, and it's happy primary eve. Well, the first primary eve of 2022. Tomorrow is the June primary, and what will we be electing tomorrow? We will be electing governor in Onondaga County for both the Democrats and Republicans, lieutenant governor for only the Democrats in Onondaga County, and of course, all of that is statewide as well, and Pompey Town Committee for Republicans in Onondaga County. Other counties may see assembly races that will be on this ballot, as well as any local primaries that they may have in their counties for local offices. I know in New York City, we have a lot of local primaries, assembly and other primaries. And of course, you know, I know a very hot county clerk race out in Erie County as well. So there's a lot of things going on in New York State. If you're looking to go to vote for Congress or state Senate, those primaries are not until August. They're August 23rd, because New York, we love elections so much, we decided to have 2 primary elections this year instead of 1. So away we go. The early voting is done. We had a wonderful turnout for a primary for early voting. Well over 2,700 voters. Another 2,300 voters have voted by absentee at this point. About 2,100 of those 2,300 absentees came in early enough for us to count those and report those results on election night, along with early voting and election day voting. So mine is about, a couple hundred ballots here or there for absentees that are coming in over the next couple days, maybe up to 500 absentee ballots. We are going to know who won Onondaga County for these races. And of course, we're going to report those results up to the state board, who will, by the end of the night, be able to declare a winner or at least you'll be able to have an unofficial winner, as we will have some absentee ballots that have to be counted. But more than likely, unless it's an extremely close race, like much closer than we've ever seen before, we're going to know results on election night that can be believed and can be counted upon to be near or at the final results. This is because of a new New York law change that happened this year, thanks to the Democrats in the Senate and the Assembly that passed this, and of course Governor Hochul, who signed it, that will have absentee ballots counted before Election Day, reported on election night with the results, and thus we won't have to wait weeks for all of the absentees to be counted. Most of them, 90% of them, will be counted on election night and reported, and then of course we'll have to certify our election in a couple of weeks after that. But big change, of course, the biggest change to that is that if you're an absentee ballot voter, you cannot vote on the machines on election day, and because your absentee ballot will have already been counted and scanned, and thus you cannot vote on the machines. If you do not return an absentee ballot, you can vote by affidavit ballot at any of the polling sites tomorrow. Remember, there are 149 polling sites tomorrow, and they'll be open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. But you have to go to your polling site, the site that we assign to you. The best way to find that is if you got that little mail check card that we sent out to you in May. It has your correct polling site on there. Or you can go to onvote.net and look up your information and see where your polling place is. Remember also that you have to be either a Democrat or a Republican to vote. In New York, we have closed primaries. That's not going to change anytime soon. So remember that for this primary, and of course in August as well. So, David asked a question about likely to pass any more election bills if they go to special session because of the SCOTUS rulings on guns and abortion. I don't know. That's still up in the air. But this does give me an opportunity to hold forth on this extremely conservative Supreme Court, this maximalist conservative Supreme Court that has enacted laws now to protect the rights of gun owners to be able to open carry guns wherever they'd like, but restrict the rights of women to have autonomy over their body. These are reprehensible decisions, and decisions that are going to be felt for generations. And while we are in New York, and we may be protected a little bit by our state government from these decisions, if the Republicans take control of all three chambers, House, Senate, and President in 2024, they will enact a national abortion ban. They will enact a national open carry law. And these things will be forced upon us against our will here in New York. So I understand the frustration of so many Democrats. We have control of all three chambers, but they are a hyper minuscule control. And even if we were to enact some of these laws, we may have a Supreme Court that has acted in a very hypocritical and uncertain way in so many things, to allow some things to happen, not allow other things to happen, have a review of government, appropriate government action in one case, but if it's a blue state that wants it and not a red state, there has been, there's no guarantee that even if the laws were passed, although I think they should be passed, that the Supreme Court in this current function will uphold those laws. And I understand that people are tired. People don't want to hear that we have to vote. But we have to remember that the other side has been ultra persistent on voting for decades. They have won local legislators. They have won state houses. They have won governorships. They have won presidents because they turn out more than us. It's just a plain simple truth. They do. They go to the polls. They don't make excuses. And then they demand that the people that they send to the polls are either going to enact the things that they want, or they replace them with people that will. Whether we like those things or not. That's the truth. So we can say, don't tell me to vote. And you're right. I'm not going to tell you to vote. I'm going to tell you to always vote. I'm going to tell you that we are in a generational struggle and that we have to hold our elected officials' feet to the fire. They must do more. They must do everything they can while they're in office. And we must use the primaries to replace them if they won't. But we have to go out there and get their back when they do. We have to go out there and vote as if our very way of life depends on it. Because that is what is happening right now. If we do not go out there and vote, if we do not go out there and be involved and be engaged, and I don't mean on Twitter, I don't mean on a podcast like I'm doing right now, I don't mean on Facebook, I mean really, truly getting engaged and holding people accountable, whether there's an election or not, then we will never stand a chance against this well-organized, well-funded, ultra-conservative, ultra-partisan, incredibly destructive force that is running one side of this government with the Supreme Court, and also continuing to enact laws in states that are harming innocent people without care or without forethought of their safety. So we have to vote. We have to get out there. We have to run for office. We have to do the things that we have to do locally because that's all we can do right now. And then demand that the people that we send to Washington, that we send to Albany, 100% of what we want. But the other side is signaling. They're doing more than signaling. They are telling you, we will act in a way that will harm you and without any regard for your safety. So that's it. And you can start by voting tomorrow. 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. the polls are open. 149 polling sites. If there's an emergency, you need an absentee, give us a call at 315-435-VOTE. We will find a way to help you and get as much as we can and give you all the options available to you so you can cast your vote tomorrow. And then when tomorrow's elections are over and we accept the results, then we will move on to the next election. Good luck out there. Be nice and respectful to all of the polling inspectors. And most importantly, exercise your right to vote. Bye-bye.